Well, in the early years where MH is not yet center to knowledge of anesthesiologists, and in fact there's some speculation if the disease really exists at all, it seemed that you had a supportive environment of the faculty and the residents in Texas that really helped or at least cooperated with some of your early research.
Absolutely, and perhaps the most significant evidence of that was a study that we did. This was helped by a lady named Mary Cole, who was with Norwich Eaton Pharmaceutical, and I would like to take this moment to give her credit for the work and effort that she did to bring IV Dantrolene to market. Just an amazing lady. And she came to us and said, you know, the dosage of Dantrolene at that time was empirical. No one knew exactly how much. So Trey and I designed a study in the pig to give IV Dantrolene to the pig and measure muscle contractility. We stimulated a nerve in the leg and made the limbs move so we could quantitate how much Dantrolene depressed contractility. And so we established what we call an ED95 dose, the 95% of the dose that produced maximum effect. And then we test the hypothesis that ED95 dose would protect MH in the pig or effectively treat it, and it did. And so then we said, if we can do this same study in humans, that is in normal humans, and determine the ED95 dose, then there'd be a more logical dosage to consider. And I was very proud of the members of the Department of Anesthesiology at Galveston and our chairman, as a matter of fact, who volunteered for that study. Trey and I were also subjects in the study. And we determined the ED95 dose, which was 2.5 milligrams per kilogram, and that became a more rational basis for a dosage. So.
And here, 2 decades later, we still have that initial recommended dose of 2.5 milligrams per kilogram, which is not what the FDA approved when the sponsor, Norwich Eaton, first sponsored the drug for FDA approval. It was 1 milligram per kilogram at the time. And over these last 20 years, MHA US continues to offer clinical support during emergencies where the initial dose recommended to health practitioners calling us is 2.5 milligrams per kilogram. But we no longer keep that as the only or exclusive initial dose. We have patients who've needed higher than 2.5 milligrams per kilogram in order to be able to bring their symptomatology under control.